I have a question. Why don't we play Arc Raiders anymore?
Because we have lives to live, Peter, and arc raiders can only fill in the cracks of the small amount of time that we have available.
So you're saying I need to crack your life?
That's
Got
right.
it. Got it.
Exactly.
All right.
Welcome, everyone, to Revelations here at Sacred Prophet for February 10th, 2026. Lovely Tuesday. I am your host, Tom, Sacred Prophet, Prop from Payout Poppy Hartman, joined as ever by my plucky sidekick, Peter,
The Acolyte, say it.
the Acolyte,
Thank you.
Peter, Bad Guru Hartman.
you.
Now, this show's called Revelations because we go through all the different trade setups that I've seen over the last 24 hours. We reveal how the market was ready to give you money today. But I guess I should call this show Repentance for people like you, Peter,
What?
who've gone on tilt.
I don't want to talk
drunk
about
on
it.
tilt,
I don't want to talk about it.
and
I
lost
don't want to
money
talk about it.
when they shouldn't have. You got access to the Sacred Prophet prop from Payout Poppy, and you go on tilt? Shame on you. You are the first acolyte.
I didn't go on tilt. My alter ego did.
Fair enough. Well, let's do this quickly. Let's go over the trades for today, because today was a classic example of chop but still money to be made. Remember, there's 4 types of trades that we look for here at Sacred Prophet. We look for trends, capturing the whole trend. Can't do that. We want to capture part of a trend, partial trend. Can't do that. You want to trade chop. And if you can't do that, you don't want to trade at all. Peter,
I don't want to trade chop. I did that today, and
that last one. No, you didn't trade chop.
Yeah, I did.
I'm sorry. When I'm talking about trading, I'm talking about trading successfully, not whatever it is you were doing. All right.
Isn't chop when it goes nope, no, you can't catch me. Oh no, nope, can't catch me. Oh no,
Absolutely.
no.
Absolutely. And there's a way of trading chop.
Mhm.
A way of trading chop. All right, let's get to the charts and let's go over what the setup was for last night. Remember, we're looking right now at MNQ. The same idea applies essentially to any asset you want to trade. But here we're looking at MNQ that starts its trading at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when you have your sort of tabula rasa and the chart, and the price starts moving in a very predictable way. Peter, when we first start, let me just remove the wave indicator here from, these are all indicators that are inside of the Sacred Prophet library. So let's remove that stuff because we don't want to complicate things for Peter. It can be a little bit hard for someone. So let's just
I'm an expert now. All right.
6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it opens. Price. Where is likely for the price to go to? What's the first target you're aiming for?
It's likely to go away from wherever I think it's going to go. It's going to go to the daily VWAP.
Which daily VWAP?
The most recent one. The most recent level is the most powerful level.
So the VWAP price that was there right before 6 p.m. when the market's closed, not the new VWAP that's developing now. The VWAP levels from the day before. And we look at 2 different VWAPs. What are those 2 different VWAPs levels?
Daily, weekly.
Nope. The ones we're looking for the target, we're looking for session VWAP and overnight VWAP.
Oh.
On the chart over here, you're seeing that here. Let's just undo the trend so it's easier for you to see. So session, overnight, I know. Session is the one, isn't session the one that just started? Oh, it's the previous one. The previous session, exactly.
Oh.
So yesterday's previous session started over here and moved up to over here. That's this thin line over here. And it ended at, let's call it 25,276. And because it ends there, it creates a level for the following day. And it's an unmitigated level. It's unmitigated because the price has not revisited yet that level. The overnight session was from 6 p.m. the night before. It's this thicker blue line, and it ends at the end of the day, the same time as the other one. And then that new level is also a level to pay attention to. That overnight level is my main level, but price also revisits the session VWAP. Here we're talking about the US session. And depending on how those two levels are stacked, you can have bullish or bearish sentiment for that. But we won't take a look at that in the overnight because that only starts on the US session open. All right. So the price last night, 6 p.m., opened up over here, right? Opened up at around 25,358. And the two VWAP levels were below us over here, right? So where's the price likely to go when the futures open?
Down.
Is that what happened?
That's what happened.
Is that what happened? Can I get an amen? Shout it from the rooftops.
That's what happened.
How does he know? How can he see it? Because I am sacred prophet. That's exactly where price went.
Yeah, it did.
All right. Now, remember last night when we were talking about it? The price went down over here, but it near missed. Ooh. Peter, near miss is just as good as a hit, right?
Nope, doesn't count.
No way. When that near miss happened, I said likely the price will come back to that level because price is OCD. Charts are OCD. They don't want to miss the level. There's a little smudge left on there, and they need to clear that smudge. And what happened? We got to that level exactly at open. The candle at open, it said, hey, let's head back down there. Let's go get that level, which is the exact same thing that happened the day before. Let's go back and get the level that we missed. All right. This is the equivalent, Peter, of a multiple choice exam that you get. And in order to trip you up to see if you're paying attention, they give you the same question, 2 questions in a row. They just change the question a little bit to see, hey, is this guy paying attention? You know that test you get where it's like, hey, there's 100 things you need to do. And then the last question at the end of it is don't do any of the 99 before.
I nail that one every time.
That's right. That's right. You're the kid who's on question 17 while everyone's laughing. Right?
No, I'm always looking for a reason not to do the test. So I'm reading every question.
Where was that mentality today in your trading? You don't want to talk about it?
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
All right. But how do you deal with this? Okay. How do you deal with this? Now, here's the issue. Yes, the price is likely to trade down to over here. So that is something that's about 81 points, 80 points, let's call it. So $160 on a micro contract. That's like there for the taken. But you're risking it, right? Because the price is so close, either you have to get in right away and just hope that, hey, this is the trade that goes. It doesn't like whipsaw and come back down, which it can. Or you got to wait for it to come back down over here. So if it were me, the right way of going about this is that because the price is so close, I would just take the trade when it opens on this candle open. I wait for this initial candle here just to do whatever it's going to do. Like it whipsaws all over the place. If we zoom in over here, you'll notice that the candle was, let me see if you can see it here. Like the candle was small bodied, but the wick went all the way up over here and over here.
That's where
so I don't like it. Sorry?
That's where I was. I was like, what is going on? Why is it?
Yeah, you want to place your trade at candle close. Like if you're going to get in at all, just don't. And if this candle were green, let's say this candle was moving way, like it really jumped up over here and closed up over here or something like that, I wouldn't even be getting in. Like already you're telling me you're not sure what's going to happen. I'm expecting to go down. You're going up. I don't know what's going on. I wouldn't get into the trade.
But I thought you're in the trade before it starts.
No, I'm in the trade before US Open.
Yeah.
But here we're talking about 6 p.m. last night.
Oh, whoa. Okay, I get it. That's not where I was. I was at
that's not where you
open
were.
today. Yeah, okay.
So I would wait for this candle to close. Then because it's close bread and it's sort of like where it needs to be, I would just enter the trade there for the short, aiming for down here. Now, as we mentioned yesterday, I do not, even though my take profit, my target is 276 on this line, I don't wait all the way to 276 to take my profit on the trade. I go maybe 5-10 points above that. Or I wait for a candle to like show me a reversal because this sort of thing happens freaking all the time. Just near misses. If you guys see on Traders Pulse Price Action Live this morning with Mike on Price Action Live, he hates this. It drives him crazy. You're one tick away from your take profit and boom, the price goes the other way. So I don't deal with that. I'm like 1 tick, 5 ticks beforehand, I'm taking my take profit. But for a long, normally I would wait till I'm on that actual level. I would have a limit order on that level in order to go long. It didn't hit, so that means this whole write up, I'm not in. Okay, I'm not in. You can risk it, but how many times have I talked to you about this, Peter? People would see this, it didn't go, so they're not sure. They're not sure. Is it going to come back? Is it come back? No. They see this green candle, so they decide, okay, I'm going to get in here, right? It's going the other way. I should get in now for my long. I was expecting a long. It was one tick off. Let me just get in right now. And then what happens to them? It comes down over here. They get round tripped. They go, oh shoot, it's gonna go bad. Let me get out. As soon as they get out, the price moves up. They go, oh shoot, the price moved up, and they get in over here. Then they get over here, the price comes down. They go, oh, I was totally wrong. They give it a little more stop loss. Let me get a little more stop loss. Oh, it kept going down. Damn, I was wrong. Let me go short. So they go short over here, turns around, and they just get completely chewed out all the way along. Happens all the time. That's why you set your limit order. And if it hits, it hits. If it don't, it don't.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay?
I got it this time.
Now, one thing we didn't talk about yesterday that I want to bring up today is this idea of the 2-hour VWAP for MNQ. I've mentioned this a few times. I'm going to mention it again in the future. Each chart that you trade has their own time frame or time frames that chart generally deals with. Right? Bitcoin is usually longer time frames, anything from 1 week, 1 month, 3 months. Dollar is really 3-month time frames that you're looking at. MNQ, often it's the 15-minute chart that you're dealing with, but also the 2-hour VWAP. 2-hour VWAP. So right now we're on the 15-minute chart on MNQ, and the white lines that you're seeing are all 2-hour VWAP levels. Right? So wherever that level ends for that VWAP, this white line ends over here, that becomes the VWAP that we're targeting. And ends over here, this is the VWAP that we're targeting. Just again and again and again, we have these levels, all right? What you're going to notice when you toss the 2-hour chart on is that the price is sort of stair-stepping through these levels in the same way that we do for the daily and the weekly and so on. So that if we take a look at this trade in the morning at 6 p.m., you'll notice that a VWAP level is created over here. It got mitigated on this candle. It cleared it and comes down. Once it came back down, this whole block here, this block is a 2-hour block. Sorry, over here. This block is a 2-hour block, right? Between these vertical white lines, these are always 2 hours because I have the 2-hour VWAP on, right? 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours. And there's going to be a story in that 2 hours, okay? Like there'll be a tail. There's usually going to be a trend or something that happens within that 2-hour block. Here was a downward trend. Over here, here was a downward one. Here was an upward one. Here was sideways. There's always going to be some story to that 2-hour. And in order to see the story, you sort of have to forget the two bars at the end of the 2-hour block and the 2 bars at the beginning. So these 2 bars, actually, let me set this up so you can see it. Oh, you're not going to see it over here. Let me just, anyways, these 2 bars here, this one, and this one, this bar and this bar, these 4 bars, you sort of want to forget for the story. Those 2 bars are made to completely trip you up. Do you know why, Peter?
Why? Well, because the institutions are following the same thing. The algos
are out there. This is my assumption, from my understanding. The algos are out there, and they know if there's a certain candle pattern that prints on the chart, it will trigger certain actions from other people. It'll force buy, force sell other people. And your whole life, your whole goal here as a trader is to trade with force buys and force sells, not buys and sells. You don't care about buyers and sellers. You care about force buyers, force sellers, because they have to make a move. And you could just be along in that direction. Forget the other people. You want to play the people if you know for sure. It's like seeing the future. You know what they're likely to do. And so if a candle has a certain story, sometimes they don't want that pattern to complete yet, or they do want a certain pattern to complete. So in the last 2 bars of it, they'll trigger some big move in another direction in order to change the way that 2-hour candle looks. And they'll do that also at the beginning of 2-hour whatever candle in order to make that candle, people think, oh, this is what it looks like, I'm going to go in, and then all of a sudden it turns the other way. So those 4 candle buffer, I call it the dead man zone. Those 2 bars before the last 2 bars of any time frame you're in, the first 2 bars you want to ignore. So here's, since we're doing on the 2-hour VWAP, on the 15-minute chart, the 2 last 15-minute things. If I was doing a 15-minute VWAP on a 5-minute chart, it'd be the 2 bars, the 2 5-minute bars before at the end of the 15-minute, and the 2 bars at the beginning of the 15-minute. If I'm on the 10-second, same thing. If I'm on the 1 week, same thing. Doesn't matter. 2 last bars, first 2 bars. Okay. And you'll notice here that these levels, the price is revisited. So after this 2-hour candle, where it drops down, the price temporarily decides to visit up. Where? The 2-hour from the previous one. And then it continues its journey down towards this line. After it near missed, where did it decide to go? To the 2-hour from the previous one. It went up straight to there. These 2 candles here, these 4 candles over here, you're ignoring, right? Because this is the dead man zone. What it's trying to aim for is over here. Where does the price go? It cut somewhere in the story, it comes back down over here. Now, the reason why this is hard to trade is that you're seeing this. Sometimes it's coming down, and sometimes it whipsaws the other way and then comes back down again. So you can get stopped out. These sorts of things are going to happen. There are algos out there chasing all kinds of things. And even though we're looking at the 2-hour VWAP and the one day and the 1 week, other ones might be looking at the 75-minute VWAP. Other ones might be looking at the 2-minute VWAP. There's all these other VWAPs. If we put all those VWAPs on the chart, every single one of them, you'll see the prices responded to all of them. So you can't always win them all. Plus, over here, this VWAP here from the yesterday that closed over here, this 2-hour, is sitting here. So we know this short-term bias upward move that the price sort of wants to get to, which it does get to over here, right? And once it does, it just gives up the ghost and comes back down to the next VWAP. So you're bouncing in between levels. Constantly, there's these levels that you're bouncing towards. But what are you going to do? You're going to pay attention to every single VWAP? No, that's stupid. Most of the time, you pay attention to the momentum of the price. You enter in at a good thing. You try to get to that level. If you make it, great. If it doesn't, that'll be the loser you have for that trade. What you don't want to do is, in this, trade 9 times trying to get to this level. Okay? Because if you're measuring from here, from this candle, let's say the close of this candle down, all you have is 26 points, right? $52. So you don't spend $100 trying to make $52. Are you out of your mind? You don't do that. There's not enough room here, right?
All right.
But maybe on this candle over here, as it breaks out, maybe you set a stop sell over here at the bottom of the green candle. Says, hey, if we flush through, I'm going to get in. And then that might get you this way down. But you can't. I try a max of 3 times to get into any position. And the amount of risk that I'm willing to take is at most the same amount that I'm willing to make. So if I can only make $56, I only risk $56. And if I'm planning on taking 3 trades, I divide that by 3. Or I just take the 1 trade or whatever, or I just do 2 trades at $25. There's no point in taking it again and again and again and again and again if that's all you can get. All right. So
all right,
that story continues. Sorry, one more time.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah. The last thing I want to mention here is that what happened today. So what happened today is, because we chopped all night, the chances were we would chop throughout the day. And US chop is freaking brutal. It's a lot more intense. And if you're looking for a trend in the US session, trends, as a general rule, only can begin at 10 a.m., 12 a.m., or 2 p.m. I've rarely seen a trend start other than those times. So usually, if I'm looking for a trend on MNQ in the US session, I'll try a trade other than my morning trade, which I'll talk about that in a second. If I'm looking for a trend, I'll set a timer, come and take a look at the chart at 9:55. I'm looking to put a trade on at 10. If that fails, I come back at 12. I'm trying to get a trend at 12. That fails, I come back at 2. Those are the only times I've ever seen a trend start. If you're going to be chopping it up, well, then go ahead and do that. But I got a job. I can't be sitting around like trading chop all day long in the US session. So the last thing I want to say here is that in the morning, the trade I take before open, usually around 9 o'clock, sometimes 8:30 or a little bit before 8:30. If I know news is coming out, I might want to be in that news. So I place an order over here. Generally speaking, it would be like over here or over here. And I'm aiming for these two levels, right? Our daily levels down here. So I'm looking for a short. So I would enter a short at some point over here, either at this level, this 2 hour level. This is a perfect level to enter the short because that's we know price is likely to come to that level. That's exactly what happened. I would do a short and aim for this. And I'm aiming for my take profit down here, which is exactly what happened. Okay. And then I would also have limit order buys at this daily level and at this daily level. And then I set those limit orders and I walk away. My target, where would my target be, Peter? If I'm entering there for a trend, where would my target be? My target is the next available level above, which is here. This is a level that was created, I think, back in November. Level over here, because that's the next level that's there. But since I don't know for sure, I would get in as when I'm getting into a little bit of a profit, I move my stop to break even, which usually happens right away on those levels. As soon as you hit those levels, chances are it's going to bounce. I put my stop loss to whatever I'm minimum willing to make, and I just move on with my day. If it's an eval account, I set $1,500 or whatever a max amount I can make that day. And if it's a funded account, I just trail the price. I check in every once in a while, trail my price up of below pivot points, which we talked about before, but we'll talk about again in the future of how to manage a trade at your end. But if you did that, you'd be good. And if you were really clever, well, you can get hit in here at this 2 hour level to short down to over here. But we don't have time to get into how you could have nailed that short. What does matter is that you'll see that at the end of the day, where did the price go? Where did the price freaking go? Exactly to the level we were aiming for that day. Is it a coincidence that we got there right at the end of the day? No, more Frere, because the Lord of Liquidity knows. The Lord of Liquidity knows.
Well, look, I'll tell you, it was an interesting day, that's for sure. Liking these trade reviews. Should we expect more trade reviews?
Absolutely. If you guys like it, we'll continue doing it. One last thing I want to end, because this is the whole point of doing it this time. The daily VWAPs are both together here. They close together here at this price, and this is where we are right now. So what's the trade to take at 6 p.m., Peter?
I don't know.
Peter, if the price is below those levels at 6 p.m., what trade do we take if we're going to take a trade at all?
I wasn't paying attention.
We have the VWAP levels that ended today here, right? Yeah. At 340.
Mm-hmm.
The price is going to open around here at 257.
Yeah.
Do we take a long or do we take a short?
We take a short.
A long up to this level.
Look, I'm paying attention to the buttons I'm pressing here, bro. I'm half.
I get it. I get it. It's nice for the crowd. I know you're playing them for the crowd, so the crowd can be like, "No, I know what the right answer is. I know." All right, we take a long up to this level. Except if this candle goes freaking crazy, in which case we ignore it. If it doesn't, you take a long and you enjoy your sweet. What would that be? That'd be a sweet 80 points, $160. $1,600 if you're doing NASDAQ, you're playing at home, and you can enjoy the rest of your day, make a great trade right at open for pretty much a guaranteed swing, unless some news comes out. Guys, these indicators I made for me in order to trade better, and it helps, but it's there available for you for a limited time. Because I swear to God, as soon as I'm done with this, as soon as I make enough money, I'm not just leaving, which you guys all know. I'm taking my ball with me and going home. You make it yourself. All right?
Well, thank you for the time you've given us.
Yeah, so if you're interested, head over to sacredprofit.com. Get yourself a subscription. It's only $500 for the year. Just for now, the price will rise. And join what I consider the best type of trading in the world, which is future trading. It's like you get to see the future. You get to trade time and not price, and everything becomes a little bit more obvious. You don't get chopped up. You make a bunch of money. You're not wondering what's going on. God, I love myself. Thank you, guys. It's been fun. Thank you, Peter, for being here. We'll be back maybe tomorrow if you guys really like the video and you guys are nice and friendly and give me nice emojis and make me feel good.